I'm Mike Blakely, Limestone County Sheriff. Currently in my 34th year as Sheriff of Limestone County. When I first became Sheriff, Limestone County had about half the population it has now. We have about 90,000 people in Limestone County. I had 23 total employees at the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. We've got over 120 employees now. It's amazing the technological advances that has happened in law enforcement in the last 34 years. When I first became sheriff, when we would put someone in jail, all the record we had was a 3x5 index card. Many of the times, most misdemeanors were not even fingerprinted or photographed. It's kind of been a touch and go for the first 20 years I was sheriff, trying to at least get into the 20th century. The last few years we've really light years away from when we first started. We signed a contract with ADSi. We now have a CAD system, which my employees really love. Instead of having to write everything out in longhand and being a nightmare when you go to court trying to retrieve the information that you're going to be subpoenaed by either your district attorney or your defense attorneys. It's a whole lot easier for us to be able, with our CAD system, to be able to provide the information that we need when we go to court. We also have now got our jail management up and running that ADSi built the software for us, and it's something that my employees are really starting to get the hang of and enjoy. I think we're starting to see that they're becoming much more proficient in the making sure that we have all of the information that we need to retrieve whatever data and keep track of who we have in our jail, what cell assignment they may have been in our jail several years previous. If you have an instance where we're involved in a lawsuit that may come out of something that happened here in the jail, we'll be able to go back and track where that inmate was, any disciplinaries that inmate might have had, when he was booked in, what he was booked in for, when he was booked out. We're right on the verge of opening up our records management, which I think is going to be something that is really going to help us here at the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. One of the reasons we decided to go with ADSi, there was a lot of canned systems there on the market that we could have purchased, but most of those were not really geared for Alabama sheriff's offices. I know sheriff's offices have a really unique situation. Here at the Limestone County Sheriff's Office, as well as throughout the state of Alabama, the sheriffs are required to feed their inmates, and it's very important that we're able to be very accurate in reporting the inmates that we have in jail, because the state would reimburse $1.75 a day per inmate. That's important, number one, to make sure that when we're audited, that we have a clear audit trail of exactly how many inmates we've had in jail, how many days they spend in jail, when we every month would bill the state to make sure that for accuracy. We did that by hand for many years. It was quite time consuming for my bookkeeper. It was also a nightmare for our jail staff and keeping up with those feed sheets on a daily basis. Now that we have the JMS system with ADSi, it has been really a time saver. It's been also mistakes are a lot fewer. My bookkeeper has been really pleased with the program that we have, and this was a big factor in why we went with ADSi. They were willing to build us the software so that we were able to accurately track and accurately bill the state on a monthly basis for our inmate days to be reimbursed for the cost of feeding the inmates. It's something that not only relieved a lot of time on my bookkeeper, but also the jail staff, because there was a lot of things that they had to do to help ensure that we were accurate in our jail count inmate days when we bill the state each month. There's nothing that's on the market that I know of that was a canned system that will be able to do what we're able to do with our system with ADSi. One of the other programs that ADSi is tailoring strictly for the sheriff's office is our pistol permits. We hopefully will be rolling out a new format for being able to deal with our pistol permits, which will be a lot simpler. It'll be something that'll be a lot more efficient and be able to help us keep track with all of our pistol permits, renewals. Eventually we'll be going to a hard copy pistol permit that I think we're like a lot of sheriff's offices still in the state of Alabama, where we're using the old handwritten permits that are paper that a lot of our citizens would like to see something on hard copy after they kept them in their billfold for a year or two, and they seem to disintegrate. ADSi has been a great partner with us in developing our software, but they also have been very supportive of us. We have an annual fundraiser, one of the largest outdoor rodeos in the Southeast. ADSi has partnered with us and been very supportive of our rodeo, which has raised numerous funds for the Limestone County Sheriff's Office, where we've bought over 33 patrol cars in the last 34 years. We also funded our helicopter and many other needed items that for us to be able to do our job that didn't cost the taxpayers a single dime, and we couldn't have done that without the help of people like ADSi supporting our rodeo. The good thing in dealing with ADSi for us has been we are not buying a software that's a canned package off the shelf. We're buying something that's tailored for our particular needs here at the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. And ADSi is not a large conglomerate corporation. They're people that you can call and talk to the president of the company. You can also call any of the IT staff, and they will always return your call. If you don't get them on the first ring, they'll be calling you back to see what they can do to assist you. My IT people here at the Limestone County Sheriff's Department really like the fact that when they call ADSi, they're talking, when they get IT support, they're going to get someone that's helped develop the software that we're currently using. They're not calling someone in a foreign country. They're calling someone in our neighboring state that's only a few hundred miles from our location, and it's where we always be able to get in touch with the right person that understands what we're dealing with here and can provide us the technical support we need within a moment's notice.